The content and concepts presented within the book, The Messiah and the Secret of Israel, encompassing the profound exploration of the hidden significance of the tribe of Benjamin and its connection to the Messiah, are the exclusive intellectual property of L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology, LLC. This work represents a unique synthesis of historical analysis, astrological interpretation, and theological insight, all meticulously developed and authored by L.S. Larkey. Any reproduction, distribution, or use of these materials without explicit permission from L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology, LLC, is strictly prohibited. This proprietary knowledge reflects a significant contribution to the fields of biblical studies, astrology, and spiritual heritage, and it is protected under applicable intellectual property laws. Chapter 11. The Land Allocations to the Tribe of Benjamin. The Messiah and the Secret of Israel. The tribe of Benjamin, though often overshadowed by other tribes in biblical narratives, was granted territories of significant strategic and spiritual importance. This chapter delves into the sacred and strategic land allocations to Benjamin, exploring the profound implications of these territories in the divine plan for Israel. By examining the significance of places like Bethel and the Temple Mount, we uncover how these allocations underscore Benjamin's unique role in Israel's spiritual heritage and divine destiny. Bethel, the house of God. Bethel, meaning house of God, is one of the most sacred sites in Israel's history. It was here that Jacob, fleeing from Esau, experienced a divine vision of a ladder reaching to heaven with angels ascending and descending. This profound encounter not only transformed Jacob's understanding of his relationship with God, but also marked Bethel as a site of immense spiritual significance. Jacob's vision at Bethel. As Jacob fled from his brother Esau, he stopped at Bethel to rest. During the night, he had a vision of a ladder extending to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. This vision symbolized the connection between heaven and earth and God's ongoing presence with his people. Genesis 28:12-13. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. In this vision, God reiterated the promises made to Abraham and Isaac, assuring Jacob of his continued presence and blessing. Jacob, awestruck by the encounter, set up a stone pillar and named the place Bethel, vowing to worship God there. Genesis 28:16-19. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." He was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven." The spiritual significance of Bethel. Bethel became a central place of worship and spiritual renewal for Israel. It was a site where patriarchs like Abraham and Jacob had profound encounters with God, establishing it as a spiritual cornerstone for the nation. The allocation of Bethel to the tribe of Benjamin underscores their unique role in preserving and embodying Israel's spiritual heritage. The divine vision experienced by Jacob at Bethel foreshadows the hidden significance of his descendants, particularly Benjamin, as carriers of divine favor and purpose. Bethel's significance as a place of divine encounter and revelation highlights the tribe of Benjamin's unique role in preserving and embodying the spiritual heritage of Israel. This sacred site serves as a testament to Benjamin's profound connection to God's divine plan. The Temple Mount, the holiest of sites. The Temple Mount, the site of the first and second temples, is the holiest site in Judaism. It is here that Solomon built the first temple, a place of worship and sacrifice, and where the second temple stood until its destruction in 70 CE. The allocation of this sacred land to the tribe of Benjamin highlights their foundational role in Israel's religious life. The construction of the temple. King Solomon constructed the first temple on the Temple Mount, creating a central place of worship for all of Israel. This temple housed the Ark of the Covenant and served as the focal point of Israelite worship and sacrificial practices. In 1 Kings 6:1 it says, "In the 480th year after the Israelites came out of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month of Ziv, the 2nd month, he began to build the temple of the Lord." After the Babylonian exile, the second temple was built on the same site, continuing the tradition of worship and sacrifice. This temple stood until its destruction by the Romans in 70 CE, marking a significant period in Jewish history. In Ezra 6:15 it reads, "The temple was completed on the 3rd day of the month Adar, in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius." The Temple Mount served as the spiritual center of Israel, symbolizing the divine presence and the covenant between God and his people. It was the place where heaven and earth met, and where the nation of Israel came to worship and seek atonement. The allocation of the Temple Mount to the tribe of Benjamin emphasizes their role as custodians of Israel's spiritual heritage. This sacred site, coupled with Benjamin's historical role, underscores the profound and divine purpose embedded within Benjamin's lineage. The Temple Mount's central role in Israel's religious life highlights the tribe of Benjamin's unique responsibility as custodians of Israel's spiritual heritage. This sacred site, allocated to Benjamin, underscores the tribe's profound connection to the divine presence and their pivotal role in the nation's spiritual journey. Jerusalem, the city of David and Benjamin. Jerusalem, the city that became the political and spiritual capital of Israel, was situated within the territory of Benjamin. This allocation underscores the strategic and spiritual importance of Benjamin's land holdings. The city of David, David's conquest. King David conquered Jerusalem and established it as the capital of Israel. This city became the political and spiritual center of the nation, housing the Ark of the Covenant and later the Temple. Biblical reference: 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 7. Nevertheless, David captured the fortress of Zion, which is the city of David. David's legacy. David's establishment of Jerusalem as the capital solidified its importance in Israel's history. The city became synonymous with the Davidic dynasty and the promises of a future messianic king. The strategic and spiritual importance of Jerusalem, center of worship. As the location of the temple, Jerusalem became the center of worship for all of Israel. Pilgrims from across the nation would travel to Jerusalem for the major religious festivals, solidifying its role as the heart of Israel's spiritual life. Symbol of unity. Jerusalem's location within Benjamin's territory symbolized the unity of the tribes under a single spiritual and political capital. This unity was essential for the nation's identity and cohesion. Personal reflection. Jerusalem's strategic and spiritual importance, situated within Benjamin's territory, underscores the tribe's critical role in the nation's unity and identity. As the political and spiritual capital, Jerusalem symbolized the heart of Israel's worship and the fulfillment of divine promises. Conclusion of Chapter 11. The land allocations to the tribe of Benjamin, encompassing sacred sites such as Bethel, the Temple Mount, and Jerusalem, highlight their profound spiritual and strategic significance within Israel's history. These allocations underscore Benjamin's role as custodians of Israel's spiritual heritage and their unique connection to the divine plan. By preserving and embodying Israel's spiritual legacy, the tribe of Benjamin played a crucial role in the nation's journey toward the fulfillment of God's promises. Thematic echo. The land allocations to Benjamin underscore themes of divine favor, spiritual heritage, and unity. These themes reveal the deep connections within Israel's divine narrative, illuminating the profound and divine orchestration that culminates in the Messiah.